don't know if y'all remember this Honda Civic, the 98 Civic. This is the one I had wound up putting bearings in. And long story short, like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, the issue came back. So it started knocking again. And engine wound up taking a crap. Let me show you. So here's the old motor. And I remember having some issues with number 2, getting that tightened down. This is cylinder 2. 1, 2. And it wound up throwing a rod in the front and in the back. So however it decided to separate from itself, it did it, and here's the end result. Now it still started up. It is not really bad. So I don't know if this head is going to be salvageable or not, but either way, it has a heart transplant. So this is over a 2-day ordeal. Pulled the motor, well, got some stuff pulled out. Well, it's about 3 days. The motor came in and I wound up stripping it down. It didn't look that good. It had some superficial rust on it, and it was worse than that. So I did replace all the gaskets, transferred the parts from the old motor to the new motor when I got it out. But I did put rear main seal, time belt, water pump, new everything that needs to be replaced on the timing chain side, new cam seal, valve cover gasket, rear main seal, intake gasket. I reused the exhaust gasket. So that's the main stuff is done. So the only thing I really wanted to record was this first startup, because I've never used this place before. This motor was very difficult to obtain. This because it's VTEC. It does have the VTEC solenoid in there. It's the D16Y8 engine. I found some on eBay, was very reluctant about it. They were about $2,000 something, but I looked up and found this one from Southeastern Automotive or something like that. I can't remember the name. I think it's Southeast Used Auto or something. Used parts. I'll find it and put it in the title here or in the video. So I want to capture the first startup because it always makes me nervous. I tell you what, and I don't. Oh, it's an ice cream truck. So I had to be very selective about what plays in the background, because I got demonetized for certain audio that played in the background. I don't know if that music is, that song is copywritten. So I don't want to get demonetized. You know what's strange too, just to go on a side note, the ice cream man, despite how people feel about child molesters, the ice cream man is the only person with diplomatic immunity that can go around looking for kids intentionally. So okay, that's enough of my flippant personality. So heart surgery's done. I want to capture the first startup because I don't know what the hell's going to happen, and I hopefully, you know, it looked really good on the inside. The motor supposedly had about 143,000 miles on it. I got oil in it. Let me show you that there's oil in here. It is a little overfilled. The engine hasn't rotated yet, so I'll rather have a little more than a little less in this case. VTEC solenoid hooked up, crank position sensors hooked up, get the timing. I think we're good. Let's hook the battery up and see if it starts up. Now, when I did rotate this engine, it did rotate, you know, it rotated too easy. But I didn't have any spark plugs in it. So, there wasn't any clunking or knocking, so hopefully we find a start up. It honestly sounds like it don't have any compression, but it's been sitting for God knows how long. I think we're okay though, but I expect it to have a different kind of sound. Let me hook a jump box up to it, or an additional battery, and I'll prime the system again, get some more fuel in there, and if I need to, I'll put some starter fluid to help start it up. The plugs didn't look that good when I pulled them out anyway, so let me put another battery to it. Hook up this. You know what I didn't do? I went over everything I was supposed to hook up, and I need to hook up the distributor. That'll do it. All right, now we should have fire. Now I'd imagine the rings and all the components are probably stuck to a degree due to the fact, you know, it's been sitting for a while. Not literally stuck, but they it's like old bones. A person has been sitting down forever, need to get up and move. It's going to take them a while to free up. So I don't like that squeaking noise that it had, but I'd imagine again it's because it's been sitting for so long. So let's try it again. What do you know? Damn thing run. Sound okay? Oil is getting thrown around. I'm gonna let it, I expect to have a little hesitation until everything circulates, the air get out the fuel, the rings start to unstick, and the oil start to circulate to help build the compression. We're in good shape. Alright, idle's a little low, but I'm gonna take it. I just pulled up a little bit out the garage, so I'm gonna take it on my first test drive. So it was 216, 219. So I'll probably get like 1 mile on it and bring it back and recheck it. So it's been a few days. I got 70 miles driven on it. The car runs amazingly. No complaints, no issues. So thank goodness the engine that I got from this facility works out very well. It worked out really well for my first time dealing with them, despite the negative reviews they had online. It's in really good condition, bottom end wise. Very quiet actually. Runs like a sewing machine. No oil leaks from around the distributor. Valve cover sealed well. Wood shoes down at the bottom by the water pump. That's fine. Coolant levels holding, AC's working. I got that taken care of. VTEC solenoid. I mean, that's not leaking. That's holding up pretty well. So I guess the only other thing to do is just check out this old motor. This motor is the original one. I did check the VIN tag on it. The VIN tag is going to be located on the rear block, right down at the bottom by the oil pan. So it did match up. And again, here's the hole in the back. We're going to pull the pan out, inspect that more, see what it looks like. On this newer engine, I did replace the knock sensor and oil pressure switch because this one broke when I pulled it off. The connector is old, so those are new on the new motor. This motor does have a head gasket, has had a head gasket replacement, and I could tell based on the head gasket. What in the world? Is that a piece of glove? Or that's head gasket material? Oh no, that's just the sealant from the head gasket. It's like a Fel-Pro gasket. So the head gasket has been replaced before. We're gonna pull the head off and inspect that, see what it looks like, and see if the number 2 piston came up and hit the combustion, the chamber of the cylinder head. See if that damaged anything. My guess is yes, but I would not know. You look at the valves here on the exhaust side. That's cylinder 3, and then cylinder 2. Look how shiny they are. The strings are very shiny. And there's some bits of metal down there, so I'm pretty sure it came in contact with it, because you can. It is the odd looking valve on the intake side. Let's see what the intake looks like. That's number 1. Here's number 2. I don't think this head is salvageable. 3, and then 4. So let's go back to 2. Yeah, I think we probably got some bent valves too. So let's pull the bottom end off. Pull the oil pan off, take a look at the bottom end, and see what has happened, because nothing can be done with this. But I probably could just go ahead and pull the head off first, since I already got it here. Let's just pull the head off, since we're right there at it. So we're gonna try to overhead view for the first time. Let's take that off. Time belt's gonna pretty much be useless. Can't do nothing with that. We'll work on it. I'm gonna say yes. Here we go. And yeah, there's a little bit of damage there on 2. You see where it lightly hit the piston, or where it did. All the valves are closed except for strings, except for this one. 1, 3. So 4, 2, never mind. So 4 and 2 is exhausting. So that's the firing order. No, that's the intake and exhaust. So 1, 3, 4, 2. Depending on what a camshaft is, will dictate if this is the intake or ending or beginning of compression stroke. And the up is right at 11 o'clock. Yeah, so if it's at 11 o'clock and the firing order is going to start with 1, the compression stroke is on 1. So 1, 3, 4, 2. I think yeah, that's the exhaust side. So 4, 2. 2 is exhausting, compression exhaust. So yeah, that's where that's supposed to be. Head gasket is new. And I'm not gonna fight with this too long because it's irrelevant. Let's take a look at this piston because this block is trash. This head is kind of trash. Head probably could be redone. Here's our number 2 piston. Yeah. It's broken. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, that definitely is not right. Let's flip it upside down. Hopefully I don't make a mess. Take this. I got all the oil out I could. So if there's any residual. It's coolant. Oh gosh. I just threw this stand together. The bolts are not like 100% in there. I do got 2 good secured ones. I think I didn't. I think I missed a couple of them. Yeah, those 2 on the end there. I did miss those. The motor would have lasted. I'm like, oh well. I should have put those bolts back. Being that the motor didn't last, it really didn't make a difference. And y'all saw how, based on how those journals look, it didn't look good. And then I had issues putting number 2 back because I tightened it up too much or put the regular torque on number 2 cylinder at the cam cap. It would seize up and it wouldn't allow me to rotate the crank. So I had to take the torque. Take the torque down just so I could rotate the. Oh god. Oh. So I could rotate the crankshaft. Oh gosh, that hurt. Oh man, my finger got wedged between pan and that block. Did I miss one? Damn, it hurt. Ooh, look at that. Here's the inside. It's definitely not pretty. It's definitely metal. Rod came and hit the bottom of the pan. This is trash. It broke the girdle for the main caps. There's the rod cap. It's all bent up. I'm pretty sure Garage 54 could probably take this and fix it right. Like make it work again, but it's not a. Well, they work on them Lada engines. There's a piece of the. I think it's a piece of that girdle. Yeah, the crankshaft doesn't look great. Let's pull the piston through here. So yeah, the rod is in fact broken. I mean, just look at it. It's in 2 pieces. So yeah, I wouldn't doubt if the valve got compromised, but that cylinder head still should be some good. I'm pretty sure the machine shop can do something with it. Take the valves out right now. And so I probably could sell that cylinder head for cheap price. Oh, I do want to take. Let's see what number 1 feeling like. We did replace, I think, number 1 and number 3. I think. I know we definitely did 2. I think. I guess it wouldn't hurt to take number 2 out. It's one of the bearings from, I want to say 2, obviously. But look how good. I'm not complaining about how bad this bearing looked on number 1, especially how scorn it was on the journal. That looks really good. Because this was one of the new ones I replaced. This was one of the rod, the bolts for the end cap on number 2 that came out, and it wound up bending up pretty bad. But 1 and 2 were the worst ones, and 1 wound up self-clearancing and working out. Excuse me. 1 wound up self-clearancing and working out pretty well. Two was and honestly, I swear to you, if I was able to torque it down like it was supposed to, it probably would have lasted a lot longer. That was number 2 is the reason why. I mean, all these other ones, 3 doesn't have any play, 4 don't have any play. I can guarantee you those are going to look pretty good. Well, it's unfortunate it happened, but I mean, this was a trial thing. I really didn't charge the guy much to just put some bearings in it, you know, to pay for the materials and the oil, because it was just an experiment to see if it would have worked. And this is the end result. Had issues with 2 wound up being the primary cause of this failure, but it worked for a couple weeks. It sure did. And well, free is free. I mean, to labor is. You know, he was down with trying this experiment out. Hey, this motor works great. We luckily we wound up finding a motor. I hate that it took so long and I couldn't go through my normal place that I get my engines from. I was able to transfer all the parts that were superficially unappealing, and we are in a good situation. Got 70 miles on it. Recheck my work, no problems. If anything happened, I'll definitely update, but I don't think this car is coming back, because this engine had 200,000 on it. I think, you know, with the new motor that's in here, they had 134,000. It's probably going to last another 100,000. So I don't think I'll be making any more videos on this engine anytime soon. So if anything happened, I'll definitely update though. But hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed how to return some more work. See you next one.